Welcome to a captivating journey through history, geography, and scriptural connections. I'm excited to share the discoveries and insights I've gathered, and I invite you to explore and verify them for yourself. While examining ancient maps and diving into various podcasts and channels, I came across some fascinating place names that piqued my interest. Together, let's uncover the potential links between these locations and the scriptural world. Today's focus is on the scriptural account of Lot and his two daughters after the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, the birth of the nation of the Moabites and Ammonites. We'll explore the possible locations and geographical areas allocated to the ancient Moabites and Ammonites. As we explore the Holy Land, it's essential to consider the biblical context of destruction and desolation. The prophecies in Jeremiah 9 verse 11 and Luke 19 verses 43 to 44 foretold the devastation of Jerusalem and Judah, including all surrounding cities due to the sins of the Israelites. These prophecies were fulfilled in the Babylonian exile, 586 BCE, and the Roman destruction, 70 CE. The consequences of sin had far-reaching effects on the land and its people. Keeping this historical and scriptural context in mind will provide valuable insight as we study the birth of Moab and Ben-Ammi. Another important factor to consider is the impact of the scramble for Africa. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, European colonial powers divided and occupied nearly the entire African continent. As they established control, they often renamed towns, regions, and landmarks, replacing indigenous names with European ones. This widespread renaming wasn't just a matter of convenience. It played a significant role in erasing local histories, identities, and cultural heritage. As a result, many original place names, and the stories and meanings behind them, were lost or forgotten. This colonial legacy has made it more difficult to trace the historical and biblical significance of certain locations, as the names we see on modern maps may not reflect their ancient or pre-colonial identities. The Moabites were an ancient nation that descended from Moab, the son of Lot, Abraham's nephew, Genesis 19 verses 30 to 38. Then Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountains, and his two daughters were with him. For he was afraid to dwell in Zoar. And he and his two daughters dwelt in a cave. Now the firstborn said to the younger, Our father is old, and there is no man on the earth to come in to us as is the custom of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve the lineage of our father. So they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. It happened on the next day that the firstborn said to the younger, Indeed I lay with my father last night, let us make him drink wine tonight also, and you go in and lie with him, that we may preserve the lineage of our father. Then they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Thus both the daughters of Lot were with child by their father. The firstborn bore a son and called his name Moab. He is the father of the Moabites to this day. And the younger also bore a son and called his name Ben-Ammi. He is the father of the people of Ammon to this day. After the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot and his daughters fled to the mountains. Lot's daughters, fearing they would never have children, got Lot drunk and had incestuous relationships with him, resulting in the birth of Moab and Ben-Ammi. The Moabites were often at odds with the Israelites, who were their distant relatives through Abraham, Numbers 22 to 24. The Moabites worshipped the god Chemosh, which led to conflicts with the Israelites and their worship of the one true God. Numbers 21-29. The Moabites are indeed mentioned in apocryphal texts, specifically in the book of Judith. In Judith 6, Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Assur, addresses Achir and all the Moabites in front of other nations, highlighting their supposed superiority and mocking the idea that the God of Israel would defend them. This passage showcases the tension and conflict between the Israelites and the Moabites, echoing similar accounts in the biblical narrative.
The Moabites and the Ammonites, their cousins, and they occupied land east of the Jordan River. And that land was near the Arnon River and the Jabbok River. The Arnon River and the Jabbok River, they are two tributaries of the Jordan River. This is Arab, spelled A-R-O-A-B. And this is a play on words. You see, the Moabites, they had a city named Ar. And this city is mentioned in Scripture in Numbers chapter 21, verse 15. Is the ancient kingdom of Moab. And as we can clearly see that Moab is the only kingdom that is in this locale, in this area, behind Mount Abarim. This is the evidence that this is the true location of the Moabite kingdom. And again, the Moabite kingdom, it is covered up with the place name of Roab, and that is a play on word. It sounds like Moab. And the cousin of Moab, Ammon, or the Ammonites, they are north of Moab. And as we stroll north, this location here with the place name Koez, spelled K-O-E-S, Koez, this is the location of the Ammonite kingdom. This is where it's located. This is its setting, north of the Moabite kingdom.
The Ammonites descended from Ben-Ammi, the son of Lot and his younger daughter. Their origin is rooted in the story of Lot's daughters, who got their father drunk and had incestuous relations with him to produce children, as recorded in Genesis 19 verses 30 to 38. The Ammonites trace their lineage back to Ben-Ammi, son of Lot and his younger daughter. The Ammonites frequently clashed with the Israelites, but there were instances of cooperation, such as the aid provided to David during Absalom's rebellion. They worshipped the gods Milcom and Molech, with Molech being a fire god associated with child sacrifice. The Ammonites were known for their cruelty, particularly towards the Israelites, as seen in their proposal to gouge out the right eye of each Israelite man and their brutal treatment of pregnant women in conquered territories. The Ammonites primarily worshipped Milcom, also known in some texts as Molech. Milcom was considered a national god, much like Yahweh was to Israel. Worship of Milcom was often associated with idolatry and rituals condemned by Israelite prophets, especially due to its gruesome sacrificial practices. One of the most controversial aspects of Ammonite religion was the practice of child sacrifice, which is referenced in the Scriptures. Leviticus 18 verse 21, and 1 Kings 11 verse 7. These sacrifices were likely made to appease Milcom during times of crisis or to secure divine favor. The Israelites viewed this as an abomination, and it became a major point of religious and moral conflict between the two cultures. 1 Maccabees 5 briefly mentions Ammonite territory during Judas Maccabeus' campaigns. He fought against various hostile neighbors, including those in Gilead, which bordered Ammonite lands. The Ammonites are sometimes grouped with other traditional enemies of Israel, like the Moabites and Edomites, in prophetic or historical references. Deuteronomy 2 verses 19 to 21. God's instructions to the Israelites regarding the Ammonites. 1 Samuel 11. King Nahash of the Ammonites attacks Jabesh Gilead, and Saul rescues the city. 2 Samuel 10. David's battles against the Ammonites. Nehemiah 4. The Ammonites opposed the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls during Nehemiah's time. Moabites people in Scriptures. King Balak was a Moabite king who hired the prophet Balaam to curse the Israelites during their journey through the wilderness. Numbers 22-24. He tried 3 times to get Balaam to curse Israel but ultimately failed. Ruth was a Moabite woman who married into an Israelite family and became part of the lineage of King David and Jesus Christ. She's known for her loyalty and faithfulness to her mother-in-law Naomi, Book of Ruth. The Moabites and Ammonites were 2 ancient nations that descended from Lot, Abraham's nephew, through his daughters, Genesis 19 verses 30-38. Thank you to Jerusalem Script channel for providing well-researched insights. For more in-depth explorations of the Holy Land's true location, check out Jerusalem Script YouTube channel.
Thanks for watching. May the truth set you free and bring you closer to God, Elohim. Until next time, stay enlightened.